You know what I like? 59 Buicks. And I've got one here that I've been working on for a couple of years. And today I want to spend a few minutes on it. The weather's supposed to get rainy again. And this window's not rolling up. I know we just did a fix your dumb window video, but I've got another one here for us. Let's see what's involved in getting the driver's side window to roll up on this lovely 59 LeSabre. Obviously this car has bigger problems than just this, but as long as it's sitting outside, I can't have it. So the trouble is, if you roll it up, it won't stay in its track. I don't know what's happened. It's all really just gone to hell. Right? So if it won't stay in its track, I can't close the door. So if I want to close the door, the window's down, and either way, the car's getting full of rain. So we've got to sort this out. Let's start by taking it apart, as we do. Looks like we'll need some of the usual suspects. Might be a good opportunity to see if we can get this little vent window to work too. Obviously very stiff, so we won't play with that right now. We'll have to see, but it might be these C-shaped clips that hold all this on. So we're gonna get a couple of screwdrivers. Hopefully my GM door handle remover tool works on a 59, and we'll pull it apart and see. And with any luck, we can sort it pretty quickly. Okay, as is typical, we have these guys, and I'm sure everybody over the age of 40 has seen one of these. And that's our friend. Let's see if we can get it in there. There we go. Good. So these little clips tend to be in line with the handle, either pushing the tool in that way or opposite. Never this way. I've never seen them come off that way. It's always like that. Let's see if this one makes a liar out of me. Oh, looks like we've got to take this off first. These are almost always a number 3 Phillips. Some people have asked why I'm not working on the Buick right now, and it's just because I've got to finish the Roadster so that we have room for this thing in the body shop. I'm still debating whether this car or the 60 Impala get painted first. Right now I'm leaning towards this car just because the drivetrain is already done, and just like with any kind of debt, you kind of want to pay the smallest ones off first so you can hammer on the big one. And since this is I honestly don't even know if this is a smaller job than the SM. They're both pretty about the same. The Impala is still a lot of work. The Impala still needs complete driveline, interior, paint, body, suspension. It needs everything. This is already a running, driving car with brakes. This is way further along than the Impala. It's almost certainly going to get finished first, and that makes the most sense. It's just a much smaller job at this point. When I started this car, it was a bigger job. So the fact that we already have the engine and transmission rebuilt and all the brakes and suspension done, this car has actually come a long way despite its outward appearance. That to me is the easy part. It's all the rest of this that I find tedious. I don't actually mind the body and paint, as you may have noticed. Yeah, actually worked, see? Nice. And the little springs, of course, always. Sadly, this door panel is in pretty poor condition. We'll see if there's anything that can be done to save these. They'll need new wood, obviously, but whether or not they need to be recovered with something different. I really like the original interior on this car, and I'd like to keep it as close as I can, but also the budget on this car, like all of my cars, is as close to zero as humanly possible. So There's exactly 0 clips we're still holding. Oh, maybe 1. Hardly worth trying, it's so ragged. Okay. Now, let's see what the actual problem is. This is going to get replaced. It's all moldy, so whatever. I don't have time to try and save some crumbly piece of paper here. Savage, I know, but there it is. Alright, let's get our crank on there. Okay. Screws are all still attached. Why is that so crooked? There we go. I suspect that's not supposed to be there. There we go. It's not even supposed to be there. It's supposed to be there. Okay. Yeah, let's see it now. If that were to be put back in place, we would be pretty close. At least now the door would close. Is that one still attached? No, neither of them are. Not very much room to weld either. It's down all the way. This one we could easily weld, I guess. Unless we can pull all this out of here. What holds it together there? So the actual part of it that's welded to the window is only that and this thing. Does that mean we could take the window right out if we had to? Let's just see. It might be faster to take this window out, clean it up, weld it up inside and drop it back in rather than drag the welder out here. So this is the stopper here that stops the window from rolling up too much. So we'll just make a mental note of where it's adjusted to. And really that's all that's holding the window in is this. Okay, it's sufficiently different from the other one. One thing I've learned is it all seems so obvious when you're taking it apart, and then when all the pieces are thrown in a box 3 years later and you're putting it back together, it's less obvious, as it would seem. Whoops. Oh, fantastic. You never know if it's going to come out till it actually does. Good. Where it was spot welded, it's rusted. And same here. So we're going to have to weld it on the edge. Keep it small, but I think we'll get away with it. These tracks won't be impossible to find. I may end up replacing them. This is all pretty raunchy. But for today, and all we're trying to do is get the damn window to roll up, this is going to have to do it. Okay, well, let's take these guys inside and weld it all up. Well, we brought everything inside, and of course we're working on the floor because there's no room anywhere else, as usual. Now, which one is which? One of these has a chunk of the old. There we go. Luckily, a little piece there makes it easy for us to figure out where it used to be. pretty decent. Surprised myself there. Okay, a couple of quick stitches on here and we'll call it. Okay, there, yeah, that actually turned out really well, and it's twice as many welds as it had when it was new, so let's go put it back together. Alright, while we're here, just going to do a little slightly uncharacteristic preventative maintenance. This guy, oh, that's a bit of a job. It would be nice if that worked a little better. I'm sure there's some swivelly bits in there. Oh no, that is stripped out. That's going to need to be replaced. I've had several of these types of things, and the gears in here get stripped very easily by somebody pushing the vent window closed when they think that they're doing the guy a favor, and you are not. Okay. What else can we do while we're in here? We can gas this door latch assembly. All of that, definitely not going to hurt. Sad about this, but that's nothing I did. That's the way she goes. Time to drop it in, I guess. Okay. And yeah. Well, can't believe it actually worked. There was not very much tolerance there. Got lucky that I was within a 1/16 of an inch of where they had to be, or I would not have been able to install that. So pretty happy about that for a change. Didn't turn into a shit show. This is the stopper that stops the window from rolling right out of the door when you crank it up. So this is another adjustment that we'll do later, but for now, put it back where it was. Making hardtop glass all actually fit and look good and function and seal the best that it can. A lot of these early hardtops is 100% perfect seal is just not happening. That's why they tend to whistle and whatever, but they really have to, the windows have got to butt up nice, and you know, it makes a big difference in the presentation of a car if the glass is all butted properly, and you know, and there will be a lot of fiddling on this car. You can see that we've had some old collision damage, and I've replaced that door skin, and we've done a lot of work on this already, but something about the way that these two doors on this side fit is not right, so we're going to be dealing with that. But now at least we have something that we can start with. See how she goes. Ooh, nice. Okay. Okay, final test. unfortunately really good there. Does it hit the other door? No. So I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously fitting a car like this is a week-long process that we're not going to begin here today. Just wanted to get a little bit of something done because this car is going to be outside for the next little while we finish up the Roadster. Hope you guys are enjoying that. We'll be getting back on that this weekend, and maybe a little bit of car shopping or something like it with Ashley and Steven, so you know it's going to be weird. Thanks for checking out the Buick repair. We'll be getting back on this car very soon. I have not lost my enthusiasm for this project. I just need to make room in the shop by getting that Roadster done. Once more for good luck here. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. We'll leave it at that for today. And well, should we put all this shit back on? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put the door panel back on. Oh, that's way better. It's working really well. I figured out what's wrong here. This guy, you can see the little shaft, whatever's supposed to keep it in place, has failed. So that might be easier to repair than replacing the entire thing, but maybe not. Oh, look at that. It just comes right out. Okay. Well, let's see. Okay. Maybe that's... Oh, well, that's not as badly damaged as I thought. Well, what a bonus. Okay, and... Pretty fair, pretty fair. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching today and hanging out with us. Got lots more coming up on the Buick this winter, and we'll see everybody on Saturday for more of the... Is a regular contributor.
Same old shit.